Hello guys, welcome to another video. So in this video, we are going to discuss groundbreaking development in India's political and economic landscape. That's the One Nation, One Election initiative. So this reform is not just a policy. It's a monumental step which is poised to redefine India's governance and electoral processes. So if you see the Union Cabinet have approved the bill and that's signaling its serious intent to implement this ambitious reform. See, the exact timeline is uncertain, but its potential impact on the nation's economy and the polity is immense. So, in this video, let's try to understand what this initiative is all about, what are the challenges, and its far reaching implications. Let's start with what is one nation and one election. Let's try to understand. See, the concept of one nation, one election seek to synchronize the elections for the Lok Sabha, state assemblies, and the union territories. So all the three now will be synchronized. And currently, if you see, elections are staggered, right, taking place in different states and constituencies every year. That is leading to frequent political campaigning and administrative disturbance. A lot of money also will be waste. And with this reform that we are talking about, the aim is to streamline the electoral processes that will ensure that all elections happen simultaneously, which is ideal for, ideally every 5 years the elections will happen simultaneously, like union territories, like the state assemblies and Lok Sabha. Every 5 years the elections will happen simultaneously. So this synchronization basically involved the constitutional amendment bill to align the election cycles. Now, why the urgency now? That's the question, right? See, the Union Cabinet's approval of the bill follows recommendations from Kovind Committee, chaired by former President Ramnath Kovind. And this committee emphasized the economic and political benefits of simultaneous election, citing the potential GDP growth of 1 to 1.5 percentage. The government plans to introduce the bill during the current winter session of the parliament, where it will undergo scrutiny by the Joint Parliamentary Committee before being tabled for discussion and voting. Let's look at the key recommendation by the Kovind Committee. Guys, remember this can be asked as a potential prelims as well as mains question. So please give importance to this topic. See the critical recommendations. If you see, conducting Lok Sabha and state assembly elections together in first phase, then implementing municipal and local body elections in the subsequent phases, and then establishing fixed 5 year terms for governments with provisions for synchronized re-election in case of early dissolution. Sorry. Okay, and then again introducing new articles in the constitution, such as Article 324A for unified voter rolls and Article 325, amendments for a single voter ID. So these measures basically aim to reduce the frequency and cost of elections at the same time, while enhancing the administrative efficiency. So administrative efficiency will be improved at the same time the cost will be reduced, right? And the frequency of election will be reduced. So the campaigning and everything is very difficult and disturbance also for the public. Let's talk about the economic implications of simultaneous elections. If you look from the economic perspective, the One Nation, One Election initiative can provide several advantages. First is boost in GDP. See, simultaneous elections can stimulate GDP growth by increasing government expenditure post-election. So economists predict an additional 1.5% GDP growth that is equating to 45 lakh crore. Imagine that figure. Again, reduction in the election cost, which is again very important. The Election Commission spends approximately 4,500 crore on Lok Sabha and state elections. Simultaneous elections could significantly reduce these expenses that will benefit the public exchequer. Coming to enhanced investment climate, see, with election-related uncertainties, which is minimized, again, both domestic and foreign investors are likely to be more confident. So that will have a very good investment climate, and it will enhance the confidence of the investors. That will lead to increased private and public investment also for the country, and that way it will again boost the growth and everything. Coming to inflation control part, again, see, a boost in supply side economics can definitely help to stabilize the inflation. That will again benefit the customers. Now, see, the problem is with a developing country like India, there is no problem with the demand. The problem is mainly from the supply side. So when you get all these advantages, and then if you can get the supply side boost, then automatically the inflation, at least from the supply side inflation, will come down. Right. Now, coming to political and administrative challenges in implementing this reform, there are hurdles, of course, and we need to tackle and solve that, and we need to find a solution. First and most important is the constitutional amendment. See, passing the bill require two-thirds of majority in parliament and ratification by at least half of the state assemblies. Achieving this consensus is a significant challenge, and it's a big task. Firstly, secondly, the logistical part, that logistical readiness. Coordinating election nationwide demands substantial resources, including electronic voting machines, EVMs, and then the VVPATs and the heightened security measures. So the election commission must meticulously plan and prepare for this massive exercise. That's another constraint. Coming to the federal opposition, see, several regional and opposition parties, including the Congress, TMC, DMK, and AAP, have raised concerns about marginalizing the local issues. They argue that simultaneous election could overshadow regional voices under the weight of national issue. So the campaigning and everything will be done at the national level, and people automatically tend to forget the local issues. So that it will ignore the local issues. That's the concern. Now, impact on political dynamics, what it will be. See, the ruling party advocates for this reform, by claiming it will enhance efficiency and reduce disruptions. But critics believe it could centralize power and weaken the regional representation. Furthermore, if you see, the fixed term model raises questions about governance stability in case of midterm dissolutions. So, the proposed mechanism to allow shorter tenures for governments formed mid-cycle that might address this issue. But it still remain a contentious point of in this case. So now, what are the benefits for the economy and governance? See, the potential benefit of one nation, one election, it's not just about cost saving, right? When we talk about that simultaneous election, it can go beyond that. Public expenditure, if you see, post-election spending could increase by 17%, driving that can lead to, infrastructural growth and various welfare programs. Again, governance stability. Governments could focus on long-term policy implementation without frequent election disruptions, various campaigning and everything. Unified voting system. If you talk about a single water roll and water roll, right? And the uniform process here, that could streamline voter participation, and that will reduce electoral malpractices also. So, what's the road ahead? The path to implementing this reform is, of course, steep, with a divided parliament and opposition from several states. The government faces an uphill battle to build consensus for sure. But as emphasized by Kovind and economic experts, this initiative is not just about benefiting one party, but strengthening India's democratic and economic fabric. So, if this executed correctly, it could transform India's governance model and provide a significant economic boost without any question, any doubt. So, how can I conclude this? That's a bold vision for India. One nation, one election. It's a bold vision, which is promising to revolutionize India's electoral and economic systems as well. See, the changes abound. The if you see the changes which are required at this point of time, we are practicing, we are evolving, right? When the country is developing, we are evolving, and changes are required everywhere. Challenges are also there, but the potential benefit for governance, the economic stability, and the voter participation make it this reform worth pursuing. So the coming months will reveal whether this vision can become a reality that will shape India's future for decades to come. So that's about this session, guys, and thank you so much. I hope you got some points here. It's a very important question for prelims as well as mains, so go through that in detail. I just wanted to share my thoughts here. And in case if you're looking for any mentorship program for civil services, or if you are looking for any courses for sociology or interview mentorship, you can see the details in the description. You can consider subscribing that also. Thank you so much, guys. See you in the next video.